السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. رب اشرح لي صدري ويسر لي أمري واحلل عقدة من لساني يفقه قولي. اللهم صل على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. والحمد لله رب العالمين. So welcome everyone to today's discussion where we're continuing discussing the concept of resurrection and the hereafter. And we're currently reading from the words, the 10th word and the 5th truth, the title of which is The Gate of Compassion and Muhammadan Worship, the manifestation of the names of answerer of prayer and compassionate. And I believe last time we read the first two paragraphs, so we'll start from the third one. But just to kind of briefly review what we discussed and kind of set the stage for the next few paragraphs. So in discussing the importance of particularly answering the needs of human beings and the importance that the messenger has in this aspect of delivering to us the message, and why it is important, or why we should be quite confident that the one who answers the needs and answers the requirements or the really fundamental tenets or the deep needs of any being or any created thing, either be it inanimate objects or animate objects. So whoever is arranging essentially all the life and the world around these beings, and answering every one of their lowliest requirements for existence, even if it is unexpected, the one who's doing all of this would expect from him to answer the need for the supplications or the questions or the requests of animate beings that are aware of his existence, but most importantly, the answer the supplication of the most beloved one of these creatures or these beings. And that's where we started discussing a bit why the prophet, or why the messenger's role is important in this supplication, or in this the role or his position in our, or in this word, is very important for us to understand, as following this reasoning that the one who answers the needs for every being must answer or accept the prayers of the most beloved one of these beings. And we started delving a bit more into why he's the most beloved one. So we will continue discussing that as we read through these next two paragraphs, and I hope we can, at least my goal from this session is to try to better understand why why the prophet is the most beloved one, and why his supplications must be answered in regard to kind of what we discussed last time, but also what we'll read in the next few paragraphs in the text. So very much welcome your input as we kind of delve through these paragraphs to help us all understand this important concept around the importance of messengerhood, and particularly the prophet's role in answering the prayers that are particularly geared towards our most important desire and need, the one of essentially resurrection or being granted life after death, or continuation to our existence. So with this brief intro, I actually wanted to start reading, but I'm happy to pause for a second here if there is any comments before we start. We'll be happy to take them. So just take a couple of seconds here before I start reading the text. Okay, so everyone is ready to essentially dive into the next few paragraphs. So I'll start reading from the third paragraph in the text. Now see, that being is praying for eternal bliss in such supreme supplication, with such sublime worship, that it is as if this island, or even the whole world, were praying and supplicating together with him. For the worship he performs contains within itself not only the worship of the community, that follows him, but also that of all the other prophets. In its essential form, by virtue of the correspondence existing between him and them, but also that of all the other prophets, in its essential form, by virtue of the correspondence existing between him and them. Moreover, he performs his supreme prayer and offers his supplications in such a vast congregation that it is as if all luminous and perfect men, from the time of Adam down to the present, were following him in prayer and saying Amen to his supplications. I got a footnote here that I will read. From the time that the prophet, peace and blessings be upon him, first made his supplication down to the present, all the invocations upon him of peace and blessings made by his community are a kind of eternal Amen to his prayer, a form of universal participation in it. Every invocation of peace and blessings upon him by every member of the Muslim community in the course of his prayer, as well as the prayer for him, uttered after the second call to prayer. According to the Shafi'i school, this too is a powerful and universal Amen to his supplication for eternal bliss. So the eternity and everlasting bliss desired by all men with all of their strength in accordance with their primordial disposition is requested in the name of humanity by the Prophet, peace and blessings be upon him. And the luminous segment of humanity says Amen after him. Is it at all possible that such a prayer should not be accepted? I will continue reading from the text to finish this paragraph, then we can discuss. So he's praying for so universal a need, immortality, that not merely the people of this earth, but also the inhabitants of the heavens and the entirety of creation are participating in such supplications and silently proclaiming, "Yes, O Lord, grant his prayer. We too desire it." He petitions for everlasting bliss with such touching sadness, in so yearning, so longing, and so pleading, a fashion that he causes the whole of the cosmos to weep and thus to share in his prayer. So let's pause here and maybe kind of go over this paragraph that started to peel the layers a bit on the importance of the messenger and his supplication which as far as I am concerned, as far as I understand the text and from my experience, is that as a human being, one of my deepest needs. So I do observe from my surroundings that my needs are taken care of. The most benign, the most simple or straightforward needs, such as food, air, like for breathing and so on, are all taken care of without any power of my own, or without any, even it's unconsciously taken care of. So I can breathe without really willing it, and that's part of my my requirements for life, and that's part of my sustenance, and that's provided for me, that's being answered to me by my creator. So just having that awareness of all the things that are needed for me, like needed by myself, or my life to kind of be sustained, are being met. Now, when I think, and not only for me, but also for all the beings around me. So every inanimate or animate objects, if you look at the animals in the animal kingdom, how like the youngs and babies are all taken care of, and how the whole system is designed and geared towards answering the needs for every part of it, and every even like the weakest elements of the system are the ones that get the most attention and the most sustenance. So just the example of this is looking at the youngs of I don't know, ducklings, or like the youngs of animals, how they are, how the parents are programmed and directed towards answering, or towards answering their needs. So in that regard, so looking at objects around me, looking at myself, I see that all my kind of benign needs are answered. Then this brings me to the point of, how about my deep needs, either deep emotional needs of me wanting to kind of live, and to wanting my existence to continue, and wanting not to end. And for me, that's a very important aspect of my life, that can be considered one of the core needs that I have. And when being isolated from the environment around me, or from any message, so when I know or I recognize that need, and then hear a supplication that is directly targeting that need, then it causes me to listen and to think. And so as reading through the text of particularly this paragraph, where we hear or read about this supreme supplication of one being, or one created being that has acknowledged this compassion that is being given to all beings in this world, and how this whole universe is arranged in such a way that it's answering the needs of every being in it, inanimate or animate. Then hearing him say that, or that he's asking for essentially answering the ultimate need that we have, then of course this causes me to listen and pay attention, and join this supplication, and join this messenger in terms of essentially stating and saying Amin to his supplications, because I say, me too, I have that need, and me too, I want it to be answered, and me too, I want this yearning, and this longing for everlasting happiness, for everlasting existence, to last and continue. So I join in that prayer as well, to try to have to join in, because I am too looking for this. So that's kind of how I understood the gist of this paragraph. But I would love to hear other thoughts and maybe other angles, or maybe expand more what we read and what I said. So yeah, so please raise your hand or speak up, either way. I'll give you a few seconds to kind of assemble your thoughts as well. Go ahead, Brother Ali.
Oh, thank you. It was a beautiful start. Yet I agree with you by saying that Amin to his prayer, it means I am joining his needs and I am adding myself in the list. I too am in need of the same things. And the text says, how is it going to be the reality that the one who created human beings with these needs, and every human being, or most of the human beings, also accompany the need presented by their leader. It means, by definition, the prophet's the prayer represents the highest level of awareness of that need. By definition, prophet means the person. By definition, I'm saying, I cannot guarantee. By definition, the prophet means the one who represents the human feelings, human reality at the highest level, is appointed or expected to be appointed as the leader of the human beings to receive the message, guidance, in the verbal version of the guidance, so that he will be entitled to spread the message to the people, because he will be within himself conscious of, or the reality, aware of the reality of the message, so that he will sincerely, not as an intellectual activity, but as a sincerely confirming the message and sincerely spreading it, desiring the other peoples also to understand this and follow it. Follow means to become aware of their own reality. Yes, for example, if I am not educated, if I don't take the education, although potentially I can learn some subject, well, many other subjects, but if I am not educated, if I am not trained, I don't know that I have this potentiality. If, as I am going to the school and learning the mathematics, and then at the end of 5, 10 years, I realize that, oh, I can understand this. If I was not taught, I would never be aware that I have this potentiality. That is why the human beings also in need of discovering themselves, which kind of qualities I have in my potentiality, human side of me. That is why the creator, if you like, from our perspective, has to appoint a teacher to teach human beings. So it doesn't mean that we will be indoctrinated. No. For example, none of the teachers can convince me that 2 + 2 makes 5, because it contradicts my potentiality. So only the teacher who teaches me that 2 + 2 makes 4 and the rest is wrong, and I can confirm it, I can endorse it. That is why the prophets are expected to bring the news from the Creator, which 100% fits human nature. so that human beings will be able to confirm the message. That is an extremely important point, that we think that we are blindly follow and imitate the prophets. No, that is not the mission of the prophets. That's why prophet says in this example presented to us in the passage that we have read now, I need eternal satisfaction, not only temporary satisfaction as I am experiencing here. And who can provide this eternal satisfaction? The one who gave me my feelings, my need. So he spreads this message that yes, the creator of your senses is going to promise me that, is going to satisfy your needs. Now I have to check, can he do that? Can the creator do that? So my potentiality must be able to confirm it. If I understand that within myself, no, the one who created me and created the universe cannot really create another world at all, I cannot confirm the message of the prophet because it doesn't fit my, I use this simple language, factory settings. It means the one who made me not able to comprehend this 2 plus 2, 5. So I can reject that. But in reality, we ask ourselves and say, yeah, yes, really, I want also eternal happy existence and life, feel secure in my being as a human being, and I will be satisfied with my creator who gave me, who provided me with all these needs. I want that. If I can confirm this, if I can confirm it, then I will be saying Amen. Now I am joining to this caravan of the people who are saying we need eternal happiness, and the eternal happiness definitely will be given by our creators, as the prophet represented as a leader of this caravan. That makes perfect sense to me. That is why we shouldn't take it this ever when we say Amen, that the creator cannot reject it in a simplistic way. Thank you very much.
Jazakallah, thank you for clarifying these points. It's definitely a different perspective that makes a lot more sense to me, in the sense that you always hear from, at least from my background, that it's very like the status of the prayers of the prophets are very important, but it never made sense to this degree that that the prayers of the prophet is a way represent actually in and of something that you just said that I related to a lot, or at least made a lot of sense to me, is that the prayer, the prophet represents the leader, and by definition the prophet's prayer is the highest level of awareness of my deepest needs of eternal bliss or eternal happiness. And me being able to confirm confirm his teachings, and in particular related to my deepest needs, and be able to join in this group of people that say or that's following the lead, or that are following this group, or this group of people that are all looking or making this prayer for eternal bliss, is essentially something that I feel comfortable with, in the sense that makes sense. It has to be that way, in the sense that I can confirm it. I do have that need. I can I can like experience it, and I do recognize the position of the Prophet in my view, or in my belief, after I've confirmed it, so I can comfortably, and I can like being aware of it and being conscious of it, join in that caravan of people that are saying, or that are following the lead of the Prophet, that as you mentioned, by definition represents this consciousness of that is making this deep prayer for our deepest need, or for eternal bliss to be satisfied. So thank you for clarifying that. It helped me. Other people have other comments, or maybe like reactions to what we just discussed?
Salam, it's Tolu here. Nice to meet you. I had a quick question with regards to what you had said at the beginning. You had mentioned that the things that we need, are being provided to us. So things like, breathing air, food, things like this are being provided to us. And so our biggest need of like eternal life, it makes sense that our biggest need of eternal life should also be provided to us. From a practical point of view, personally, it feels like there are many things that I need that I'm not getting. Like every day, it feels like there's many things I need that I want that I don't get. So from that point of view, it feels like, okay, some things that I want, I get, but some other things that I want, I don't get. So, that for me puts into question that, how do I know that this thing that I really want the most, that I'm going to get that? Because it's not, like, things that I want in this life aren't guaranteed. I don't guarantee. There's so many things that I want every day, every hour that I don't get. So how do I know that I want to get this thing? That's just a question that I have.
I think the answer lies in defining whether your needs, and you're like defining your needs versus your wants. Just because you want something doesn't mean that you need it. And I think we're trusting the Creator to give us the things that we need, because oftentimes we're praying for things we think we want, but ultimately it's not the best things. Like if I think about some of the things that I have prayed for in the past, and now I'm like, oh my God, thank you. I'm so glad you did not give that to me. So I think it comes down to trusting that when we don't get what we want, it's trusting that we're going to get something better, or that there was a reason for us not getting those things. I think it comes back to our own egos and things like that. Possibly could be an answer to that question, maybe.
So maybe I can take a stab at the answer as well, and open it for others to kind of chime in. So at least from my perspective, I think I agree with what was just said in terms of like difference between like the core needs that we have. Like when you think about it, for me to sustain existence, they are being satisfied. Now what our, let's say, our wants or caprices or human essentially desires are concerned, then they are essentially infinite. And the fact that I feel the fact that I recognize that they cannot be met in this world is another sign for me that I do need the hereafter. I do need a realm where all my desires will be met.
It is better for you to join from I join from here. But do you have the headphone?
Sorry. Okay. Brother Ali, did you want to join in?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
This question, which rises every now and again, how can I make sure that God is going to really, sorry, I made a mistake. Why is it? So, excuse me, there is a problem. Okay, why, how can I make sure that my God or the Creator in general, how can I make sure that He is going to make this promise, keep His promise, and give me the desire? It is very simple. I think we have to realize it starts from the understanding of one's own reality. First, do I exist by myself? Can I explain my feelings accidentally happened in me? Or am I the product of a conscious creator? Now, if I am able to comprehend that I am the conscious product of a conscious creator, everything is deliberately arranged in my existence, and my feelings cannot be explainable within the conditions of this material world, cannot be explained that I developed it by myself, I am influenced by others. All the people go and see, they want the best. They want the best possible. Now, for example, if you have ever seen any customer goes to a store and tries to find the worst quality of the things with the same price and choose that one. I've never seen it. I don't expect anyone to do that. Why? My factory settings look for the best. That's what I understand. If I am convinced that my factory settings are put there by my creator, I cannot explain their existence by attributing it to accidental developments, because it has nothing to do with material side of the existence anyways. It means my factory settings are deliberately put by someone who gave me existence, who created these qualities in me, feelings in me. What does it mean? I try to practice my feelings within this kind of creation. I understand this kind of creation does not satisfy them. But why am I given all these qualities then? The question rises again and again, over and over again, because we think our feelings are our products. That is not only wrong, it is to me a crime to say this. Insult the creator. Why? Did I develop my power of sight, my power of hearing, my power of reasoning? Is it my cells, material sides, that this power of reasoning is developed, intellectual qualities, let alone my sense of loving the best? my sense of escaping from the worst, from danger. Did I develop that? But the child from the very beginning, he learns that, although he doesn't know what is harmful, what is not harmful, but as he experiences the world, when he understood, he or she understands this is harmful, and then he runs away from it. From the very beginning. The baby, as she a little bit becomes in 3-4 months, if someone else wants to hold it, she cries. He cries. He wants only the mother. Where did he get this idea that mother is the secure place? He learns it, and then it becomes, it develops. These feelings develops as our consciousness, as our intellectual capacity develops. We become more and more aware of what we have within myself, what I have within myself. Then these feelings guarantee that the one who gave me these feelings, he gave it for a purpose. Now let's see. I need eternal happiness. I don't want to be punished. I want to be away from any harmful situation for me that I don't like. That is what my factory settings are. Okay. And it is given to me, the one who produced me, who created me. Can he do it? That is the problem. Can he do it? Is he able to create an eternal, limitless creation, continuing, not like transient, this one, contradicting my feelings? Can he create another type of creation which fits to my expectations as I develop them? As I develop them, that is what we have to do here. It means if you don't learn mathematics, when you are given another creation, it doesn't mean that you will learn all mathematics. No. After the graduations, whatever the level you are, that's what you are. Be careful. Accordingly, if you want to enjoy mathematics, try to expand your understanding of mathematics as much as possible here. So the problem, can the one who created me with these desires do it? Now look at the universe. Who can say that the creator of this universe has limited power? Is there any sign? Has limited knowledge? Is there any sign? Has limited wisdom? Is there any sign? We may not be able to understand it, but everything in the universe, in some senses, because we are not aware the contradiction between my capacity of expectations and what this universe in and of itself, not the creator, the capacity, my capacity cannot be met but by this universe itself. But how about the creator of the universe? Which kind of qualities it has, the creator has. So look at the universe, you will see that the universe demonstrates that although I am transient, but the creator is permanent. Although the things are growing slowly, but the power behind them is manifesting itself every time, everywhere. Ever-present power must be absolute. So I can easily, rationally conclude the creator is able to do it because he is absolute. And that absolute, for the absolute, nothing is difficult for the absolute. By definition, again. So we have to understand that these feelings are not ours. They are given to us by our creator for a purpose, that we will search in the universe, understand that the creator must be an absolute one. So present your feelings which want eternal happiness, which these feelings want eternal security from any kind of danger, can be met by this creator only. That is why the prophetic message says, you have to become aware. You would better understand the creator of the universe can satisfy you. Then we say, is it really true? Look at the universe, you will understand and confirm it, and then say, okay, my creator can satisfy me. I agree. That's what we have to follow, this reasoning. To start with, I'm just emphasizing on it because this question comes from everyone, not only from the one who asked our friend here. Everyone, how can I make sure that I'm going to be resurrected again? That is why we have to be very careful about this subject. Yes, my reality says there must be such a creation, and universe says this, my creator, the universe says my creator, the universe is the creator of the universe, demonstrates his qualities as absolute qualities. It fits them. And the prophets come with the same message. We say, okay, I confirm this message. That is what we have to train ourselves. Not only I confirm myself, finished. No, that is the beginning. Confirming the message is the beginning. So whenever I have something, for example, I bought, let's say, I don't know, a pair of shoes. And the pair of shoes got really worn out. I said, I need another one. I don't like this one because it's not functioning anymore. I said, yeah, that is my feeling. I want a good pair of shoes as long as I do. I live here. So I want also eternal happiness in my life. Who is going to satisfy it? Who can do it? Can matter, can nature by itself do it? Can I do it? Can the government give me eternal happiness? But the creator of the universe can. Why? He must have absolute qualities. The universe witnesses it. Okay. Wassalamu alaikum. Inshallah, we will end this quest, inshallah, in the course of time. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. I was also hoping to comment on this from my own experience and to also ask a question. So for me also, it was a big process that took years to realize that I don't know if I can put a number on it, but I would say so many of my wants and desires were actually being fulfilled in this world when I had the proper lens on, the proper glasses that, were taught in the Quran to always wear are the glasses of gratitude. So as I started to practice gratitude, naming every day 5 things. It started out with just 5 things that I was grateful for every day. Then, this immediately, it was like, the more I thank God, the more this station or this state, actually not station yet, of gratitude would begin to enter my heart. And then I would start to see that so many of the things that I wanted, I already had, and they were unfolding for me. And then it started to move towards his qualities, knowing that it wasn't the thing itself that was bringing, the need, and then the thing came that fulfilled my want. Avajan, can I? I'm talking right now. Can I? And I started to realize that no, these things are actually representing qualities of God, his 99 names. And then, you know, the relationship started to further develop with the creator of all of the creator of my need and the creator of the answer to my need. You know, so now I'm starting to get to know his names, and it's starting to become a beautiful relationship that makes the item itself less and less like, it's not that I don't appreciate it and value it because it's a gift from God, but the item itself stops being the owner of the bliss that I attain in that relationship. Then, you know, and then I start to look at the things that haven't yet come to me, needs and desires that I have that I don't see them now, but I have this relationship now with the creator. And it seems to be that this relationship is not going to stop, that it's going to go on forever. And it seems to be that, oh, what I don't have, as Sister Taya said earlier, what I don't have now, it may be coming still, it may be coming in the afterlife. And it may be coming, you know, better than I could ever have imagined the answer to it. And then the strangest thing happened. I started to worry that I started to really love this creator for all of his qualities. But then I became sad that my relationship with him seemed to be only like, I want something, he gives it to me. I want something, he gives it to me. I wondered, did I love him beyond just wanting things from him? And then the strangest thing happened where I could finally turn to the things that I don't have and say, at least I don't have one of these things, and I can say that I still love Allah, even though I don't have one of these things. And so it became sort of a more pure kind of, I felt maybe it was a more pure kind of love, because it wasn't just him giving me what I wanted. I still loved him, even though that thing hasn't yet come. And it makes me, I think it leads to the question that I have is like, are we always, I know that we are definitely being given these needs, and he answers them, and that points us to him, that is a sign that we are his. But I wonder, does the love ever develop in such a way that that relationship of need and answer no longer becomes the basis of the relationship? Like, do we ever get to a point where there's a different kind of love that develops? Over and out.
Thank you very much. Thank you for sharing. So actually, for both the question and the answers, and I'm definitely pleased to see the interactiveness in the chat, in the group. So the perspectives given definitely at least help me try to understand the question better. I think the fact of questioning the source of our feelings and properly appropriating them, not taking ownership of these feelings, is, at least from my perspective, is kind of a shift in how we view this particular question or similar questions, that asking what's the source of existence of these feelings, kind of the seed to start with. So I definitely appreciated the questions and also like the perspectives on the answers on it. I do see there is a question in the chat room. I know we are kind of towards the end of the discussion, so maybe Agabe, do you want to read it, or would you like me to go over it? Okay, so then I will just read the question so the question says from the chat, who are those inhabitants of heaven? what does heaven mean in this context? How do we know that not only people want eternal bliss, also all creatures, as texts say? I'm not sure. I'm not sure what you're referring to. So in the context of the text, what we are discussing is what we mean by eternal bliss is that any so at least from my perspective, or from the perspective of somebody who's looking at it now, is that I do, if I look at my feelings and deeper desires, I do not want to die and be the end of me. I do want eternal happiness, and I do want to have an eternal bliss, and by that I mean a realm where my deepest needs that I experience in this world, the feelings that are given to me of the desire for happiness and not going into annihilation and non-existence, I do want them to be continued. And by definition, the realm of where this will be continued, we refer to it as the hereafter or heaven. So at least if I had to guess of what the question is asking, then this is what I mean by the need, or so we're not talking about what will happen in the hereafter. We are more establishing the need or the existence of the hereafter. I hope that it answers your question. I don't know if someone else understood the question better, or if you'd like to speak up, then please go ahead. Go ahead, Brother Ali.
I spoke a lot, but these questions are excellent, really. Who are they? We are talking about this heavenly beings in general. They talk. What is heaven? What does heaven represent in Islamic literature? It is different from the other traditions of religions. The heaven in Islamic literature represents the ultimate purpose, the meaning that we perceive in this existence. Ultimate meaning means, for example, when I have a book and then I read the book, I get the meaning. Meaning is the heaven of the existence of the book. It means the purpose, what the book represents in itself. So meaning that I get from the book is the purpose of the existence of the book. And this meaning is communicating with me. It means my consciousness catches it, gets it, and I understand. Through this meaning, I communicate with the author. This is the purpose of the existence of the book. Why author published this book? To communicate with the readers. Now, this communication between me and the author of the universe, it means author of my creator, my creation, my being, is established through the heavenly beings. It means in the Islamic literature and in general, but the misconceptions are really happening in other religious traditions a lot. Symbolism came in and symbolized in material things, etc. You cannot symbolize the meaning of the book in any way at all. But we cannot deny its existence either. So we definitely know that such things happen and they exist. They have an existence, not like material atomic structure existence, but they must have an existence, another kind of existence. It is not our subject, but we have to know that the Quranic literature keeps saying jinn, jinn. They are created with something else. It means there are other ways of creating for the creator of the universe. Not only that, his ability to create everything within material form that we are experiencing here. No, there are other ways. One of the ways of this creation, act of creation, is creating the meaning with no mass, no mass, no matter, no matter. So this matterless creation, we cannot deny their existence, as we cannot deny the meaning in the beauty, in the ugliness of something. We say, this is ugly, I don't like it. Look, my feelings are communicating with something. This is a matter, but my feelings are communicating with it. And these meanings are created, the feelings in me are created out of mass. Excuse me, not with mass, without mass. My sense of love, my sense of, for example, fear, they are massless, no matter, matterless existence. Meaning in the creation of the things also do not consist of matter. It means there is a purpose in the creation of this universe which I can communicate with through my matterless side. Universe has a matterless side. This matterless side is called heavenly beings, namely angels. In the scriptural language, angels, they exist, but we cannot give them a form. We can't imagine because we cannot give them a form because they have no mass. So meaning of the book has no mass. Exactly. That is one. There are two questions in one chat. The other one was, who can remind me?
What does heaven mean in this context?
That is what we studied this.
And how do we know that only people want eternal bliss? Also, all creatures, as
yeah. Okay, that is the second side. Is beautiful again. How do we know that these beings also, massless beings also, other matters also want eternal existence? I am not an angel. I am not a matter, but I can use my intelligence to understand, intellectual capacity to understand that, look, if the book is burned, the meaning I read after reading the book, the meaning I got, I received, does it go away? No. It means, look, even the material side of the existence continues to changes and goes away, disappears from the present existence, as far as I can see. It doesn't mean that they have to fall into non-existence. I cannot say that, because why should I assume it? If I don't know something, for example, yesterday, where did it go? I don't know. It doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. No, I cannot grasp its existence anymore. That's it. So even they disappear from this world, the matter disappears from this world, but from my perception, but the meaning persists in my being. That is a good sign that these aspects of the universe also must have eternal existence, that must deserve eternal existence to be given by their creator. It means, that is my rational conclusion, they must not go into total annihilation. It must be preserved in existence. By whom? Not by me, definitely not. by the one who created them, who has the absolute qualities. We should never ever forget that. The creator must have an absolute qualities. Otherwise, I cannot explain this universe, the existence of this universe. That is why I have to understand that, look, although book disappears, but meaning doesn't. It means nothing goes into total annihilation as far as the capacity of the absolute creator is concerned. Not my capacity, not the capacity of the universe. I cannot reduce existence to the universe itself, to my existence, to my capacity only itself. Now I have to explain the existence in terms of its creator, therefore, in terms of the capacity of its creator. Logically conclude that as far as the absolute capacity of the creator is concerned, nothing should disappear at all as the creator wills them to exist, because absolute has no limitations whatsoever. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for clarifying or for answering the questions. I definitely benefited from the answers and hope that answers the question. So I know that we are a few minutes over time. So I'm going to, I see that there are more comments on the chat. So I'll just read through them so that we can conclude, inshallah. So the next, actually it's a comment from Shahrani family. So it says, my questions was as we develop in realizing that our creator has given us our needs, do we ever get to an intimacy in the relationship that is not based on the ayah of need, fulfillment? I guess there is an answer in that question. If I want a deeper relationship outside of need, he has again given me this desire. We are such funny creations. Thank you for that comment and clarification on your earlier comments. Okay, so there is a question from Haidar. Is there overlap with messengership with discussing matterless creation? Oh, I feel like this is it should be a new topic.
Yeah, if it's a new topic, that's fine. We can always shift it elsewhere if there's not enough time. The reason I came up with the question was, as we were discussing matterless, the emotions and the feelings and the needs, and which is all very stimulating and very meaningful, things of consideration and thoughts, and relating it back to the absolute source of creation, your creator. It came to my mind messengership, how they're also, this concept is also, there's a fair degree of matterlessness, so just if it's too much for this discussion, that's great. It came to my mind, I thought I'd bring it to the
Thank you for bringing it up, and I would definitely encourage you to bring it back to maybe next week's discussion, just to kind of it's an important question, but at the same time be mindful to be mindful of time for today. But yeah, thank you for raising it. And I see another comment from Ryan. The beautiful references to various seemingly sensual pleasures mentioned in the Quran as awaiting those in paradise have been interpreted by many Muslim sages in diverse allegorical or mystical ways. This reflects the supra-material, metaphysical reality of God as creator of all things, all matter, and as the Lord of time who lives unendingly and stands outside time and space. Since he's entirely beyond any bound of time, space, or matter, material limit to me, this suggests that the descriptions of heavenly beings and delights have a clear metaphysical dimension. Very interesting comment. Thank you for making it. Yeah, so let me just kind of continue. Okay, so this is just saying that they found the comments and discussion helpful. Okay, so I'm very pleased that there was lots of interactions. So let's keep that up going forward. And it is time for us to conclude. So thank you all for coming and joining and sharing your thoughts and being present with us today. And I will proceed by concluding. So سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم وآخر دعواهم أن الحمد لله رب العالمين.